welcome to Ready Set Demo from Elizabeth's Craft Room. Today we're going to make this simple but effective card. I'm going to do a slightly different version for you, but show you some tips about how to get this sort of effect with the lines down the side and your images in it, whether it be this particular stamp set or anything else that you want to use. Just to tell you though where this did come from, this is the iconic Imagery bundle I've been using here for the stamps and for the dies. And just $36.75 if you are in the UK. Speak to your demo to order that, your Stampin' Up demonstrator. Also, if you are a Stampin' Up demonstrator and you're thinking, where did these sheets come from? I don't see those. You can have a little look at Ready Set Demo. Go and look at printables, and I've got all sorts of printables. We are getting more now from Stampin' Up. Yay. But at the moment we don't have these, so I have got those available if you would like to get them. Right, okay, let's have a look at this project now. So I'm going to start off with a piece of basic white. Now on mine, this is a 3 1/4 by 5. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this and tell you what that measurement would be if you're using US letter. So that is going to be 4 3/4 by 3 1/2 is going to be your layer for this piece here. And what you're going to do is to take a pencil. If I can reach one of my pencils, that would be quite good. And I'm going to mark on here with 2 inches at the edge there. I'm going to mark at 1/2 at 1 inch. So 1/2, 1 inch, 1 1/2 inches. I'm doing that with my ruler upside down. Should we do it with it the right way up at the other end? So I'm doing 1/2 at 1 inch and at 1 1/2 inches. There we go. Okay, so now with that pencil, I'm going to put a line down very lightly between those. Now, of course, these don't have to be 1/2 inch apart. You can do whatever measurements you like, including metric if you care. Right, so I've placed my snowflake onto a block, and I want it so that I've got points up and down with the block quite straight, because that will give me a bit of help to start off with. So make sure you've got it on your block fairly straight to start. And then I'm going to use basic grey for this. You could use other colours, but I'm going for basic grey. And there's no right or wrong as to where you stamp here, but I'm looking around the camera, just slightly difficult, but hopefully I can still do this. So that I'm looking through and then lining up that top and bottom point with the line. And I'll keep on going. Which one shall I come out? I think I'll go, this time I'll do one here. And one at the bottom. Odd numbers are always good, so go for 3, go for 5, go for 7, depending on the size that you are doing. Now, just while I make sure that ink has really dried, although our ink is fast, let's not take a risk. I'm going to stamp 2 little bits. And that one's going to need an embellishment opportunity because I've managed to get a little bit of ink on one of those little die cut pieces. We can do that. So I'm going to put Peace on one. It's also from the same stamp set. And Joy on the other. And Joy is going to have a little bit of bling on it, I think. So I've got Peace and Joy there for those little pieces. I've got an ampersand that I'm going to stamp in the middle, but we'll wait and see where I position before I actually stamp that piece. Right, I'm going to take a soft eraser now and remove most of those pencil marks, but I'm going to leave the little bit top and bottom because I'm going to reinstate them with a pen. So I want to make sure I've got the bits out that are actually on the snowflakes. But the snowflakes themselves will give me a little bit of a guide. Now, I would say use quite a fine tip pen. This is an O2, what's this? A Unipin fine liner. So you want some sort of a pen that's got quite a fine tip on it. You could use our old style markers if you want to, with the very fine tip on those, with a finer tip on those. Then just watch where your other snowflakes are. In fact, I'm going to start from this end so I can see my other snowflakes. I'm going to line up the middle of these, and then I'm going to mark with my marker, and I'm going to leave some little gaps here and there. Now, you don't have to do this, and it depends on the bling you are using as to whether you need to do that. If you've got really dark bling, then you may not need to leave a gap, but I'm going to just show you how to do it if you're using rhinestones or something similar. Oh, I didn't have that quite in the right place, but let's not worry too much. We'll get away with it. You see what I'm doing? I'm lining that up top and bottom and through the middle. And then as I come along, I'm leaving a few little gaps for bling. Again, you don't necessarily have to do this, just the lines on themselves actually make a really good effect. So it's coming together now, but definitely what we need is some bling on here. So what I'll do is you can use whatever you like. I'm going to show you now how I'm going to make this one really quite different to my first. And that is the glimmer that I'm using. So this glimmer is, this is the item number for it, 163769. I think it's an online exclusive, and it includes a white glimmer, which has got a little bit of iridescence in it. It's got this berry one, and it's also got an old olive glimmer in the pack. And it's really, really pretty. So I'm going to, as I say, make this a bit more bold, a bit less layered. So for this one, I want to have some kind of pink bling going on in there. Now, I could use some of these, so there's some glossy dots, but I think what I'm going to do instead is you can actually colour the rhinestones with blends. So I'm going to use, this is a dark berry burst, and I'm going to colour in, woo, that one's disappeared somewhere. I'm going to colour in some rhinestones. I'll do some big ones as well to go in the middle. I haven't got 5 big ones left on here. Don't know where my new pack of rhinestones is, so we'll do an assortment. Now I'm going to pick these up with my pricking tool, and normally what I would do is to allow these, make sure I've allowed these to dry completely before I start moving them around, because they will take a moment. You can tell I've been doing some darker ink projects when you look at my fingers. Time to go and have a little clean up, I think. Yeah, normally I would allow these to dry completely before I pick them up, but they dry fairly quickly, so we're getting away with this. And you can see I was colouring some red ones for another project earlier. And then I will do an assortment of sizes in the middle of my snowflakes. And I think although you would traditionally expect silver centres, when you see it all come together and with the colour of the glimmer, I hope you will think we have a good effect. Now, we also are going to need a little bit of glimmer on the Peace and Joy. A couple of my pink ones from earlier. There we go. To cover up that little glitch. And then I think what I'll do with these is to position them like so. So let's get my little ampersand. Definitely got some sort of dark ink on me. I can see splodges all over the place. Right, okay, so I'm going to just stamp my ampersand on there. And then we'll put some little edge bits. Always use your edge bits on your dimensionals. So I have Peace and Joy. Now, my base card is just a standard half piece of A4 scored in half. For US letter, that's going to be standard for you as well, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. My layer here is 5.5 by 3 3/4, and if you are using US letter, that will be 5 1/4 by 4. And I'll glue that into place. And you will see I have gutted this. I've taken a 2-inch circle and punched a couple of pieces out of it because you don't want to waste that. Sometimes you just need a little piece. Another tip with this, which I will give you, is if you are using a trimmer to cut your glimmer paper, keep a separate blade, here's mine, just for glimmer. Because it will eventually, even though this is quite a light one, eventually this will blunt your blade, and we don't want to do that unnecessarily. So I would definitely keep a separate blade just for cutting glimmer. And we'll pop dimensionals on the back here to pop this up onto the glimmer. You can stick it with Tombow, but I would suggest tear and tape or dimensionals are your best for sticking onto the glimmery side of glimmer. And we'll position that centrally. And there we go. So I would love to know which one of these you prefer. If you're not already signed up to my Ready Set Demo newsletter, do have a little look down below. Usually comes out once or twice a month with some ideas and suggestions. And I would also be very grateful. I'm asking for 2 things now. I'd be very grateful if you'd subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. It really, really helps. Thanks for visiting Ready Set Demo from Elizabeth's Craft Room today. Bye.